Hi, it's Blair from Handmade, and I'm back today with another quilting and answer tip. Every Thursday, I share a video quilting tip to answer the questions I've gotten from you, all designed to help you make better quilts. Today I'm answering the question, how do I safely use a rotary cutter? Now, I love rotary cutters, and using them combined with a quilting ruler and a cutting mat has made my life as a quilt maker so much easier. But a rotary cutter is basically a razor blade on a stick. We have to be careful. And I've had some pretty bad cuts and learned some pretty valuable lessons along the way. Here are my 5 best tips on using a rotary cutter safely. Number 1, always cut away from you. Align the edge of the fabric with the edge of the ruler that's closest to your body. Open the rotary blade and cut away from you. Now, unlike its cousin, the X-Acto knife, which you normally pull towards you to make cuts, the rotary cutter works best if you push it away from you. Plus, it's safer and you don't have to stretch over to the opposite side of the fabric to start cutting. Also, along those lines, avoid awkward angles whenever you're cutting your fabric. Tip number 2, always use a fresh blade. It's not always easy to know if your blade is dulled, but if you find yourself having to really bear down to make a cut, you definitely need a new blade. Also, if you find yourself having to saw the fabric as you cut it, you also definitely need a new blade. Keep some new blades safely in your sewing room. I have one labeled here, new blades, and when I change the blade, I put them in another holder called used blades. Tip number 3, close the blade when it's not in use. Now, I have trained myself to close my blade after every cut before I put it on the table. It's just too easy to brush your hand or your fabric against the blade and accidentally cut yourself. Better than that, buy yourself a self-closing one. This is one that closes by itself. You can press the handle when you're ready to make the cut, and then when you release the handle to put it down on the table, it automatically closes. Tip number 4, when you're cutting, train yourself to keep 1 to 2 fingers positioned off of the opposite side of the ruler. Not only does this help anchor the ruler in position while you're cutting, it will also help you keep fingers away from the blade. And for this reason, never try to use a narrow blade or a narrow cutting ruler to cut with. And tip number 5, rotary cutters are fast, but they're not foolproof. I usually cut 2 fabrics at a time in a pinch, and with a sharp blade, I might cut 4 fabrics at a time, but usually not more than. Remember these basic tips whenever you are cutting with your rotary cutter, and stay safe out there. Find more tips, free patterns, tools, and tutorials at my website, Handmade, and I will see you next week.